All right, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin.
I'm Tarsha.
And this is, of course, Conversations with the Crawleys, where we have conversations about faith, family, relationships, and our favorite TV show. So if that's content that you enjoy, you know what to do.
Subscribe.
Like and hit notifications.
Share, too.
Share. Listen, whatever needs to be done.
We need
right?
more subscribers. Share it.
Yes.
Tell them to like it.
Do all that, right?
Tell them to share it.
Yes. So you can also join us on Instagram, as well as now there's a Facebook page, Conversations with the Crawleys, as well. And then we'll definitely see you down in the comments. All right. So Married at First Sight.
Yes.
I'm still not going to do it. I mean, yes, we've been married for 25 years, but I wouldn't do it. That's just me. Because this one, I was thinking we were going to be okay with some of the couples.
Leave it to the end.
I'll leave that to the end, but y'all know how we do. All right. So let's jump into it, right? You've got now, as of this episode, all of the couples have gotten married.
Right.
So we're just going to kind of dig into, first couple, Brett and Ryan.
Yes.
They've been, to me, the most bland couple up until, in some respects.
Wow, you call them bland?
Just because in the previous episodes, it was just kind of like they're there. Yes, she's never been kissed or, hasn't been kissed in a long time. He's dated half of Texas, it looks like. But other than that, it was just like, okay, yeah. But I think that there's some chemistry there, which was good to see.
Oh, yeah. I think they have chemistry because they're not the type of person that they would normally pick.
Yeah.
So for them to be still attracted to each other, but don't have not what they normally look for, right? When they date. So I think that's good for them to see that they need to get out of their comfort zone and picking the same person and trying something new. Now, I was kind of concerned because, he came off with the country music, about the ranching, and she was like a dead hard stop. I don't do country. I don't know what a boot is. I don't know what that ranching stuff is. So we'll see is she going to kind of tell us like, what's her flavor? So we can figure out, how she can fit in, because she's already feeling like she's going to be an outsider.
Right.
So it's like, okay, has that happened to her in the past? Nobody wants to feel rejection. So we'll see how it goes, but they're attracted to each other.
Y'all might be new to the channel, but I have a saying about country music. I love good music. Country is neither good nor is it music. That's just me. I'm not a country guy. I get it. People love it.
It's slow blues.
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about appropriation as well. So, all right. But anyway, there's that disconnect that they have because he's trying to do the whole spin and dip, and she's like, I'm not having it.
Nope.
No.
I'm out of my comfort zone. And she shares everything she thinks. I'm not in my comfort zone. Yes. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay. So
she does meet with his friends, and his friends basically tell her, she's like, she asks a question, which, if we're honest, it's a loaded question. It's a question that you ask. And because she didn't know, she's not sure the answer. She got a little surprised, but I think it turned out okay. Oh, yeah. In that, she was like, am I his type? And they were like, no, not even close, not even remotely, initially, right? Mm-hmm. Because, and I don't know how she's not his type if he's dated half of Texas, somewhere along the line.
Half of Texas might be blonde and blue-eyed. I don't know what you're talking about. It's Texas, Kevin.
Okay, well, anyway. So yes, she is not his type initially, but he does. He's like he was telling her friends, she pulled off the red because she's not a natural redhead.
No, she's not. But
I've been saying that.
She paid for it.
Yeah, she paid for it. She paid for the color, deep color. All right. So I'm good with them. I was kind of nonchalant or not committal about whether or not I think that they'll make it. I think that they're going to have some challenges.
Every marriage does.
Well, yeah, but we're talking about this show, where challenges is like
over the
challenges
top.
Is code word for no, they're going to break up tomorrow, right?
That's what it is.
So
I'm like, marriage is a challenge.
Speaking of challenge,
yeah.
All right. So anyway, So yeah, I think that they'll be okay. I think they're going to have some road bumps. At this point, I think that they may be okay as a couple towards the end. If they keep the chemistry I think they really had at the beginning, because he was smitten. He was just like, if you look at him at the wedding ceremony, he was smitten. He was like, oh my God.
But it just lasts a while.
True.
Honeymoon phase can fade fast.
Very quickly, as we've seen before. All right. And then Jose and Rachel, they were the other couple that we got to finally see their wedding on this episode. He looked like it looked like she was looking down on him.
Yeah, the camera view was really bad. Like, he was short, but when you see him side by side,
he's still short.
They're about the same height. I think she had heels on.
So yes, if she had heels on, it's very possible that yes, but basically she was with the heels on, she was still looking down at him. Period. That wasn't camera angles.
I think it's probably a very small, minor couple of inches. I think without heels.
Is what she was doing. She was looking down at him. So that's just me. But they were saying that, yeah, I mean, yes, I'll marry you.
Stop.
All right. Anyway, so they were saying kind of how much they were alike as a couple.
Right.
Which was good. I think well, here's the thing. That can either be really good or really bad.
Right, because they were like, they didn't want to be so similar together. Right. But I feel like they are different. He's very particular.
And he's insecure.
Yes, about his looks.
Yes.
Where she's really attracted to him. I think the way they kind of started off, he felt like she wasn't.
Right.
But she's really attracted to him. Mm-hmm. I think I think it was Pastor Cal that came to him and saying, you can't be a perfectionist.
Right.
This is not going to be perfect. So, and he has to get away, burn every list he ever owned. So hopefully he gets beyond that.
Yeah.
When you bring two people together, it's just going to be.
It's going to be interesting.
It's a life change.
Because she makes the statement. I don't think he was slick with it. He was, oh my goodness, you were everything that I was looking for. Mm-hmm. What physically. About me, right?
Physically.
And she was like, I told them I wasn't into looks. I was about the personality. And you could see the look on his face was like, oh.
So I got good personality.
I got personality, but I got the looks. But she did say again later on that she was attractive. Like she found him handsome, right?
Yeah.
But then he turned creepy.
What do you mean turned creepy?
He turned creepy by like, all right, so when's your lease up?
Oh, I don't think that was creepy. It was more like you're being very analytical and like I'm going to automatically just move in your place. Like, we got to think about this. Not you just...
Analytical, creepy, it was the same thing. Because, yes, it was just like, we just met and already you're getting me to break, to get out my lease and everything. So it's like, we don't know
what's going to work
how this is going to work best, right? I don't know where you live. You don't know where I live. You don't know work schedules, all that stuff. So yeah. So he did go into analytic mode, if you want to say. I just found a little creepy. I found a little off-putting, right? And I think she did too. She was like, wait, what?
Huh? Hold on. Let's get through tonight.
Okay. So then we kind of check back in with some of the other couples that have already walked down the aisle. Johnny and Bao.
Yes, I'm really excited about them. But at the same time, I'm concerned about their upbringing, where Bao has no physical touch.
Yeah.
Not even from her brothers.
Yeah.
And then Johnny, he lacked affection, so he wants so much of it. So both of their upbringing puts them at very opposite ends of the spectrum.
Right.
So the goal there is how can they continue to work through it? Because having self-awareness is like, this is a personal issue. Mm-hmm. And how can we be balanced to meet each other's needs?
Right.
but not be over needy on each side.
Right. Because, it's a great, and if you're in a relationship, looking into a relationship, what have you, it's great to kind of know what your love language is, right?
Right.
Know what are the things that you need to have from your partner, from your other person. Right. And so she is big on gifts of service, right? She's like, that's how I communicate. That's how I let you know.
How I show love.
And he's like, no, I need you to touch me.
That's all I need. Just touch me.
Just touch me.
And I'm good.
Just touch me.
No touch.
And she's like, I don't touch.
I don't
like. She's not like.
It's low.
Right. She's like, it's last on my list. That's
last. Mm-mm. But again, this is a great opportunity to grow and mature in it.
Yeah.
And marriage takes time to get over it. I'm so surprised how in these 8-week marriages, people feel like people are just going to just change and get over these things.
Well, I mean, it's kind of the whole idea, because it's like you decided to get married to a complete stranger. So the idea that is that you, within this 8 weeks, have made up all of this time. I know it's not realistic, right?
Making up time, but changing who you are to fit someone else or coming to a balance point in 8 weeks, that is not realistic.
Yeah. Because it can take years, even for couples that have known each other for a while.
Right, exactly.
It can take years, right? So, but yeah, so he's, she does tell his friends that she had a crush on him.
Yes, I
thought
that was so cute.
So I was like, okay.
Now they're married.
So it's a great made-for-TV type of relationship, type of scenario.
Yeah.
I just am not confident of how it's going to be in the end.
They could work it out if
she touches him.
Or he don't touch her. So there's a balancing act. They're going to have to give. There's going to be a lot of give and take.
She's going to have to give a lot, because even at the end, when she was like, all right, here's your body pillow dam to keep up the barrier between us. Like, even in bed, she's just like, look, we're going to put this whole barrier in between us, because I don't even want to touch you in my sleep.
I think she's going to warm up, because for her to take a lot of risks, it's new.
Do you really think, now, again, this is the one who, when they asked for her list, she gave half of the Asian community in Houston.
That she didn't want.
So do you think that this woman who, can we just be honest, she's very uptight. She's very, very disciplined. I'll give her that. She's very, and I'm trying to choose words that she's structured, what have you, however you want to put it. Do you really think that she is going to give?
Because she's still the same one that got on the dance floor when they had the bachelorette party. She's the one where we seen.
But she ain't touched nobody.
She's the one that was in clips where she's jumping out of the plane. Again, if she's willing to take a risk, it's finding the right person that can be patient enough to open that door for her.
Okay.
It's something to be learned. I didn't say love you in my house. We say I love you in our house. That was something you taught me. So again, it can be taught when you're with the right person.
True.
So give her some slack. God.
I just don't have high hopes for them. I'm sorry.
I see.
I just don't have high hopes for them.
High hopes.
No.
Not at all.
Lowered expectations.
You sure do.
I don't have it for them. I just don't. I don't see it. But let us know in the comments what you think. If you think that Johnny and Bao is a couple that will make it to the end, let us know. I just don't think so. I'll give my full predictions at the end, but I don't think they will. All right. And then Zach and Michaela.
Yeah, they got chemistry as well.
Listen, she is sprung. And he's looking at it too, like when,
Yeah.
So they initially have good chemistry. They initially are laughing. They're having a good time.
Yeah, to each other.
She talks with his parents, and the mom just like starts overshare. He lost his tooth in the 3rd grade, and she's just giving all of the qualifications of him. It's like, look, they already married. She already got him. She gonna figure this stuff out.
You have to sell them to her. There's no sales deals here.
Right. And then on the other side, though, her sisters are, so what kind of guy are you? Are you the right person for my sister? Da da da. And he makes a statement, or he answers it in a way that the sisters were like, you ain't really say nothing, because they're giving him the side eye.
Well, because I don't know if he's just nervous or don't know what to say, because they're like, why are you the guy for her? Why should we trust you with our sister? And he just really couldn't come up with the words to say in that moment. I think what I'm gathering he was trying to say is that I could say a lot of different things of who I am, but I want to show you.
Yeah.
I want to prove it to you and not just say those things.
Yeah.
So I get that, because they said a lot of things at the altar. And in these seasons, they don't last. They start out, that sounds beautiful. You can say a whole lot of stuff in vows.
Right.
And I'd be like, you going to keep all that you just said? Because that is work.
That changed after the first 3 days, right?
Okay. I'm like, remember your vow? Pull that piece of paper out. Talking about you going to be patient.
Okay. So they are my couple that right now is my prediction for the couple that is going to consummate first.
Oh, yeah.
Because
yeah,
if they didn't consummate that first night.
They came real close.
Because he saw her, without her wedding dress and
pajamas, and he was like, I didn't know all that was under that.
I didn't know that was under that dress.
The dress is huge, because again, this is the first time they've seen him.
Right.
So he didn't see her in regular clothes and worked up to the wedding dress.
Right.
You got the wedding dress.
He was like, oh, that's what you've been hiding. Gotcha.
Right, because she didn't have like a mermaid dress or anything. So, so he was like, okay.
He wasn't mad.
He wasn't mad.
He wasn't mad at all. And then the couple. The couple.
What's the couple?
Mirla and Gil.
Bless the Lord.
Oh, my soul. And all that is within me. Well, let me say this. When they first showed them, they were dancing. There was good connection, right? You saw, okay, a little good chemistry, what have you. But, so let me also say this. She already sold her wedding dress, is what we've seen, right? Now, that's not necessarily a sign that there's a problem or a sign that there's issues. However, the fact that it was done this early and it's like news could mean something, right?
Yeah. I mean, I sold my wedding dress too. So, I mean.
But you weren't on national TV. They didn't buy it for you.
Okay. And so, I would have sold it even quicker then.
Okay, yeah.
But the question is, I feel like, again, these experts put these people together to say, oh, he will help her with this. Oh, she's going to help him in this area of life. If you don't point these, maybe they should point it out. Like, I'm picking this guy for you, but he needs help because he doesn't spend money. He's a firefighter. You work a very nice job and you spend your money. So should they exchange, like, these are the flaws that you're going to have to decide you're going to be patient with? Or you just throw people in a pot, like, fix them.
Right.
Fix them. I'm confused.
Yeah, she is. So
they were like calling her high maintenance.
Yeah, the word high maintenance came out a couple of times regarding her.
Wow. I don't think that's fair.
Okay.
If you have a good job and you want to buy nice things and it's within your budget,
gotcha. Then
why would you be high maintenance? Gotcha. I think that's an attitude more than the purchase.
But I think the thing that I see and I feel, and I think that even the friends were starting to see, is that it's almost as if those things define her.
Okay.
As opposed to, this is just, these are the things it's like this defines her. This is what makes her her. Right? Because even when they were like, the thing that turned Gil off a little, or he was a little concerned with, was the fact that, in the wedding ceremony, they were like, she's the type of person who goes and does things for the less fortunate, but does it in designer clothing. So then it's like there's this disconnect, right?
It could be. It
could be, right? But if her friends are bringing that up as something that is like, hey, this is what your girl does, they're seeing that too, right? Whether they realize it or not. So I think that they're looking at how these things seem to define her, and the fact that she is so caught up in those things and not saying, okay, yes, I may have to, there may be some compromises that happen in my marriage, because if you're coming into this marriage thinking that everything's going to stay the same as when you were single, you will be single again very quickly.
Say that 2 times. You will be single very quickly when you think your life is not going to change. And
Right.
You're adding another accessory.
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
Exactly.
At some point, something you change because you get a new perspective. You understand something better, or you're working to more common goals.
Right.
So other things doesn't become as important.
Exactly. So, so then there's also the discussion of, well, while they're sitting there at the reception, right? You know, the typical thing where people are clinking the glasses to, get people to kiss, right? Get the bride and groom to kiss. And they're doing that for them. We see other couples that do it, and of course they kiss. It's not a long, drawn out, slob you down type of kiss, right?
Just a fact.
She's not even willing to do that.
No, we've seen that in past seasons where he's like, oh, I'm not going to kiss him right away.
But her reason for saying it is that she's conservative, right? Because I want to draw because I think that there's some, I think she's I don't want to say two-faced, but I think that she's contradictory in some of the ways that she approaches things, right? It's one way when it fits her narrative, but it's a different way when it doesn't, right? So you're on a show that is not a conservative type thing, right? Because she's sitting there telling them this is not traditional, right? So you're telling folks that this is not the conservative way of doing it, but then you want to go back to a conservative way just as far as a peck, right?
Well, again, when you go through an experience, you want to do something different, and then you become very drastic. Supposedly, there was some domestic abuse, so she has a hard time opening up to people. So here is another way where we go to a drastic extreme because of your past experience.
Right.
So I'm going to, at that point, leave it at that because, again, when you look at other people in previous season, even though they didn't use the word conservative, like, I'm not going to kiss my husband until I'm comfortable. He's a stranger. I don't know him. It's those walls you put up to protect yourself. End of the day, we're scared. We don't want to be vulnerable, and you have to get walls down.
All right. Well, here's my other evidence of her being contradictory. Okay. Because or things that just don't seem to add up, right? Because then there's the discussion of the last name that they have, and she asked him, of course she asked him, "What's your last name?"
Yeah.
What's your expectations? He's like, well, I would think that you would take on my last name, right? Now, again, she experienced or saw domestic violence growing up.
That's what we understood.
That's what we understand, right?
And I'm assuming it was her. I don't know. Does she have a stepfather, biological father? There's some disconnect there. I don't understand. But she wants to keep.
She wants to keep the father's last name. Right?
Yeah.
So there's this again. And again, we don't know the full story. Granted, we don't know the full story, but it just seems a little disconnect for me. If that's what you experienced, that's what you saw growing up, and the inference that, as far as what we understood, was that it was mother and father, right?
That's what
we understand.
Yeah,
right?
Based off of what we kept hearing.
So we could be wrong. I could be wrong in it, absolutely. But again, she has an unwillingness, in my opinion, to compromise, and unwillingness to meet her new spouse halfway. Even if she said, you know what, I'd like to hyphen my name.
And I didn't think she was a hard no on that one. She was like, it's something that is complex. So again, we're just meeting. We're just trying to find out. I didn't hear a hard no from her because she could change her mind. It's possible.
Okay. If you say so. All right. So here's my predictions for the couple so far.
Okay.
All right. Brett and Ryan, I think, are okay. I think they'll be okay. Some road bumps, but I think that they'll be okay. Jose and Rachel, I'm a little unsure about. I don't know that they'll last. I think Rachel will try to, but I think that some things, as far as Jose, may prevent that from going forward, and even some of her past experiences.
I think they might last if he gets beyond thinking it's going to be a perfect marriage.
True.
So if he gets rid of all his lists, he'll be all right.
Marilyn and Gil, no.
I don't know. I think if they both give in to their perceptions and come up with some goals for their marriage, it's possible.
Gil, run. All right.
You gonna tell him to run?
I'm gonna tell him run.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. All right. Zach and Michaela, I think now some of the clips.
I don't know.
I was at the beginning and at the outset. I'll be honest. I've been Zach and Michaela team, but some of the stuff we're seeing in these
she looked like she about to key a car.
Yeah, she looked like she got that. Who was it, Jasmine Sutherland? I'll bust the windows out your car.
She had that vibe. You want to talk about somebody having a vibe?
Like
when she slammed that door and she was like, her friend was trying to hold her back and she was like busting glasses to close the door.
Listen,
I never seen a video guy, camera guy get out of the way quick enough.
So I had hopes for Zach and Michaela. I still am trying to hold out hopes.
They're very emotional.
Some of the clarity, but
yeah, they're not making it easy on this season to see if anybody going to watch out. All of them stay together. We see all the worst clips of their life.
If all the couples stay together, because I don't think Johnny and Bao will be together at the end either, right?
I think they could possibly make it. Again, one moment he's crying. And he's trying to ask his dad permission. Then he's moving on in life without his dad. So it's possible that these people.
He's crying, trying to get Bao to touch him, and then he gonna move on without her. So I'll just say this: if as you say that, if you think that they're all gonna get through this season together, this will be an all-star season
with all the dysfunction they showed in 30 seconds.
I do not have that much faith in Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal, and I don't know the other lady's name now. I don't have that much faith in them. I'm sorry.
You said 3 people can't. I help them.
Listen. I don't have that much faith in them.
Their track record ain't good, is it? Their track record is not well.
No. It's married at first sight, divorced at 8th week. So I mean that's how this is working. So all right, but let us know what you think. Let us know in the comments your thoughts. Definitely make sure that you hit that subscribe button, hit the like, and request notifications. And we'll see you in the comments. Have a great one. Be blessed.